Hi there, I'm Kira and this is Polymer Clay TV, and today I'm going to show you how to make this interesting spinning bead shape. And I've captured some beads on the inside. It's not that difficult, it's pretty easy actually. I just wanted to show you the mechanics of creating a focal bead that looks like this. So let's get started. I decided to do an experiment and see if I could use one of these shield cutters to showcase this bead. I only have one of these beads in my stash, and I thought I really like it. I used the others to make a bracelet and I just had one left. I wanted to do something special with this. So when I was looking at my graduated cutter set, I realized that the middle one is big enough to encircle this bead and give it some room. It's also about the same size as the hole in this cutter, so I could sort of imagine how much clay I was going to have when I cut out the hole. So I have some other things here. I have a texture stack and I have some ink. This is a Dewdrop Brilliance ink pad in the color Lightning Black, which is kind of an antique gold. I really like that and I might use it. And I have some clay that is rolled to a number 2 on my pasta machine. This is Bronze Primo Accents. And although the edges look raggedy, this piece of clay is really nice and malleable. It's soft but not sticky, and it's not cracking anywhere in the middle, so that's good. That's what kind of clay you want for a project like this, where we're going to be bending and manipulating the clay. So to start out with, I need 2 pieces, and then I'm going to cut out the hole in the middle. And this is where things are going to get kind of fun. I might decide, I don't know, to kind of center it up this way and cut through here so that I can try to be in the same place on each one. So I do want to be centered and pretty much cutting out the same area of each shield shape. And we're going to do these 2 at a time, and you'll see why in a few minutes. But right now, what I'm going to do is stick together 2 sides from top to bottom as well as I can. As firmly as I can without messing it up. And you can touch your polymer clay, you know, pretty firmly, as long as you have a firm but gentle touch so you don't smush it. So then I'm going to coax, and I guess I'm not going to texture them because I feel like I would distort it too much. So I'm going to bend carefully the middles of these out. Carefully so I don't crack the clay. And then I'm going to stick it to the tile, like so. Now, if you are familiar with scrapbooking, there are ornaments and such that you can make from paper by doing a fold like this and gluing the paper together. But since we're working with polymer clay, we don't have to glue anything, it's going to stick. So when I stick it to the tile like this, and smooth these edges as much as I can, what I'm doing is providing a flat surface for when I do the other pair, which will be after I bake this first pair. So I'm going to clean this up as well as I can and then bake this stuck to the tile in this position with the center open and the 2 pieces sticking out to the sides like that. All right, this is baked and out of the oven, and I'm just going to pop it off of the tile. And I've already cut my other two pieces here with the cutter on the circle. So what I'm going to do now is attach these the same way I did the others on one side as well as I can. Getting them matched up. And then I'm going to open up the other side and attach it to the one that's already baked. So you would not want to do the other one on the tile because we actually want them all to match now. So we're going to actually attach them to the one that's already done. This will be a little bit tricky and you'll have to mess around with it a little, but if you take your time with it, you'll get something that looks cool. So just take your time and match up the sides. And because one is already baked, now you can be more forceful and mush it together without worrying about destroying the shape. And then we'll do the other side too. And I'm not going to worry too much about the middle, like the hole in the middle, because I have my Amico bead pins sitting here. That's what this is. And I'm going to insert one down the middle before baking just to be sure that I still have a hole there for stringing later. Now you can try to finish these edges really nicely now, or after you bake it you can come back and do a third baking and put a decorative edge on there, whatever you want to do. I'm thinking that the decorative edge sounds fun because it's a little more difficult to really get it perfect at this stage when half of it is baked and half isn't. And you're trying to meet all these seams up to each other. So now I'm just going to insert this pin. I'm just going to slide it along the side that is baked and just keep it in there while I'm baking it again, just to make sure that I don't lose the ability to string. Now, here I have a bowl of sand. This is just decorative sand that I had left over from another project, probably planting. And I'm going to sit this in here, the part that's already baked, in order to prop this up for baking. And I'll put this whole thing in the oven. Here is my shape out of the oven and cool, and you can see that I strung my focal bead and another companion bead onto the pin to show you what that would look like. I'm really excited about this bead shape. There's a lot that you could do now. You could take your texturing tools and create strips to go around the edges. You could take some gilding paste or Inca Gold or any of your paints and decorate these edges. You could use a X-Acto knife if you wanted to refine any of the shapes that are going on in here. Like, for example, you might want to trim after baking so that you can get a really good shape what's going on the inside edges. because as you saw me trying to put it together, sometimes it's not going to go together completely perfectly, but there's a lot you can do after baking. Polymer clay cuts really easily with an X-Acto blade, so you can clean it up. So I would really love to see what you make with this new bead shape and what kind of cutters you use. I mean, the shape of it is going to change depending on what shape you start with. So you can have all kinds of different outlines to the bead. You can make it larger or smaller if you have graduated cutters. And just always remember that you want to be able to get, if you're going to dangle beads on the inside, you want to be able to get them into the hole. So whatever hole you cut out would have to fit. So thanks for joining me at Polymer Clay TV. If you want to show off what you make, come over to the tribe and share your photos. We'll see you next time.